Hey guys, it's Chris. I wanted to go over my Top Force, original vintage Top Force project. Here it is. I have bits and pieces of video that was taken on this, painting the original body, explaining some things about the car. I'm going to say it again. I think my original footage was so. This car is an original, non-re-re, vintage Top Force. And you look at it and say, wait a second, doesn't look right. Something's not right about it. Yes, of course. Ta-da! This is the first body I painted for this car. Ta-da! And this is now the way it's going to stay. So this is an original, almost 100% Tamiya Top Force car I always wanted. And I never knew I wanted this car until when I got back into it in the pandemic. I really didn't know much about this car. This car came out in '91. I was already out of the hobby playing with real cars and, you know, doing that kind of stuff. That the hobby switched for me. Let's just say that. I purchased this car on Buyee about a year ago. It was $143. I think I said it was $134. I looked it up. It was $143. It was an unfinished project. So the car was in the original box. It was partially built, and in the description said it was probably missing parts. And sure enough, it was missing parts. This car, excuse me, had the rear gearbox built. It's a little bindy, and I didn't go through it, but because it's never going to drive. But there's something wrong, definitely wrong with the rear gearbox. But it's okay. It's a shelf queen. It has the original Spire Spike tires, and again, the person built the rear gearbox. They cut the entire body out, and they did a really nice job. I just sanded it to make it that much better. And then they stopped. They didn't build the front gearbox. They didn't build the shocks or anything, and it was weird. So they built the rear gearbox, they cut the body out, and then just stopped. And then I guess it must have went into the box, and that was it. So, oh, the weird thing was, you might see more footage of this. I don't know how I'm going to edit it, but inside the box, all of the original screw bags, so screw A, B, C, etc. All the screws were taken out. They must, and I'm assuming whoever built the car took them all out, maybe put them in a cup or a pile, and then didn't finish the build and threw everything into separate little mini Ziploc bags and wrote all the screw sizes. I believe it's in Japanese on the bag. Talk about tedious, and they saved the original labels for the screw bags, but didn't staple it to the bag itself. So it was kind of interesting when I built the car. I figured it out. I mean, not that hard, but it was cool. I mean, someone did care for it. They took their time to put it back, I guess, in their mind, the right way for the build in the future. But what wound up happening with this car? It was missing. It was missing one gear out of the gearbox. The top cover for the gear case. So this car has a Riri top gear case cover. I just put the Velcro on. I'm hoping it doesn't pop off. It's the original Velcro. Okay, let's do this. Let's pull this off. Put this here now. All right. So I'll show you the car. So I put a vintage Futaba servo in there just to keep the wheels straight. I had one laying around. Who knows? It's probably dead, but it came from another one of my millions of cars I have laying around. So I put that in there, and this car is an original 100% build. Look at this bad boy. This thing is like a time capsule. Now, there's a little scratch on the tray, which I could have used the Riri one from Tamiya. You probably wouldn't even known, but this is the one that belongs to the car, so it goes to it. You could even see the FRP chassis with you can see the white in the weave how they made it. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, this car, the only thing in Riri so far is this top piece of plastic. This plastic was missing out of the kit, probably why the front gearbox wasn't built. and this piece was missing. The shaft and the gear was missing that goes to it. Not this gear, but the one of the counter gears. I had a Evo Top Force Evo kit. I built it with Riri. I built it with the one-way gear, the one-way spinning gear. It left me the solid gear, so I sold that car off. I kept the box, and I have a lot of pieces in it, and I was able to use that gear. I bought a top cover, and I wound up purchasing it was a Riri hop up. So for the manta ray, you could purchase the stainless steel bar with the I guess the shaft cup, right? Because it goes into the gears, and it's identical. Identical. It's an original part. It was authentic, I guess, to the era. So I that was not cheap to buy, but it made this car now almost 100% original. So I was excited. The only thing at that point that wasn't from the kit was this one shaft here, one gear, and the cover. But this is a vintage part, so I thought that was good. The gear and the cover, there's nothing I could do, so I'll live with that. But then, okay, so then I built this car, and I have video of me painting the body. So you'll see that. I don't know what point this is going to come in. This is probably going to be in the beginning, and I'll jumble up the video. And my videos aren't the greatest, but bear with me. You'll see from photos I took and some of the explanations from the older video, the older footage. These are Riri decals. They're not MCI, but they are Tamiya Riri decals. I have some photos comparing the two. The ones I had did not stick. I tried my hardest. Every method I could, sticking it down, the water method. I usually use the water method, put my decals on in general, but it would not stick. No way. It kept lifting up, heat, whenever I tried, no bueno. So basically what I had to do was I went with the Tamiya 2017 decals. They're almost identical, even the color. I mean, my original set, my original set is faded, I think. And this body was yellow, so the original body was yellow. So I'm not sure if it was a faded decal or probably because I think they're kind of bright. I mean, even the MCI. This here is the MCI decal sheet, and I mean they're almost identical. So I think the decals I had, they didn't stick. They're a little faded. So this car is not 100% original. It's 95, I don't know, 98%, whatever you want to call it. But it was a fun build. I got to build an original vintage Top Force. I mean, not many people could say they did that unless you keep from RC Icons, because then, he builds everything. But all kidding aside, this was a fun build. I hope you enjoy the other footage from it, the other pictures and the other part of the build process, some of the painting. Top Force wing, polycarbonate wing, super thin, no plastic covering for painting. So what I did was, how I like to paint these. I like to paint the inside of the wing. I like to make sure the inside of the wing has paint on it. And I like to paint the bottom of the wing, this part. So when you remove it, this part's shiny. So when you put the decals, it matches the body. I mean, the way the instructions show, you just blast the inside of this with color, and then you put the decals on it. But then this doesn't look right. So this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to crack open brand new can of, where are we? TS 17 or TS. Ooh, no, not TS. PS 17. Give it a blast and wing. Do a little test. Let's do this. This is okay. It's only about 60 degrees, 65 degrees. So, and this is metallic. So you want to go one way. Not too heavy with this stuff because it will be blotchy. So far, there's no reaction. This is an original wing, 30-year-old plastic plus. So don't want to go crazy. I just want to do a light coat. And of course, it's so cold out. This is going to have to sit. So I'm getting ready to spray this original Top Force body that I purchased an unfinished kit from Buyee. Again, these videos might be pieced, these video clips, so you might have heard this information already. Getting a little dark, but the weather's still warm in New York, so I'm trying to take advantage of it. This body has been, it was already cut out by the previous owner, but I sanded it, smoothed it out. I washed it with detergent, Dawn detergent. Went over it, made sure it was, I mean, really went over it crazy, make sure it was clean. I taped up all the windows. I used fine line tape and all different types of tape. It's probably still gonna be crooked, but no matter how many times I do it, I do my best. Anyway, and because this body is an original, it doesn't have a clear protective film, so I had a double layer tape on. I had a double layer of the tape on the outside and then cover it in automotive painter's paper to keep the overspray off it. But 90% of the time there'll be some sort of overspray. It's inevitable. PS17, and this metallic green, and this is an awesome color. Okay, test it first. And I'm gonna do a very, very, very light coat. Hopefully there's no reaction. I did the wing already, and there was no reaction. You see I'm kind of like flicking it, trying to keep it straight and not stop. I'm trying to keep the air pressure consistent, not stopping in the middle, because you'll get splots, and then you have to put a lot of paint to get rid of the splots. And you don't want that. And this body has a lot of concave and contours, and I'm gonna try to get it as best you can. It's very transparent. So we're gonna stop that. We're gonna let that dry a little bit, about 20, 15 there, about 10 minutes. I'll go back with the next coat. So as that's drying, what we'll do? Let that dry a little. What I want to do is, I'm just removing my gloves real quick. I know this isn't exciting, you're staring at drying green metallic paint, but my point is, I want to take the wing. Now the wing is complete. This side was painted, then in here was painted, inside. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the tape, and hopefully it's not crappy. So far, so good. If you want to look at it, tape line looks good. Okay, that's a plus. That makes me happy. Again, and you can see there's a scratch. Yeah, it's kind of catching up. I was gonna sand that scratch out, but then I realized there's gonna be decals over that. So, it was an original, like I said, an original body. Is a kit that was unfinished. It was all these parts were cut out and left in a box. So for 20 years, 30, more than that, maybe 30 years, this thing just sat in a box. Who knows how many times it got banged around and pushed around. So it's inevitable that there'll be scratches all over it. Now, if there wasn't going to be any sort of any sort of decals over it, I would have opted to sand it out the scratches and make it better. But I think I'm pretty good here. Do I see the line? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm losing my eyeballs, right? It's a green line in there. Look at that. So here's the separation, and I think we're pretty good. I mean, it's a little bit. You can see a little of my finger. I don't know if you can see it from down here. See a little like where paint didn't hit, but that's okay, because once you put the decals on, and if anything's really screwed up, I could always go back and touch it up if I had to. But I think I'm okay. I think overall, I think this came out very well, considering it's so old. It didn't react, which is a good thing. Yeah, all right. So I don't really have to see it in the light, but I'll give you better shots of this once it's all on the other. Sorry about bumping the camera. When I have it, freaking tape sticking to my fingers, driving me nuts. Anyway, let's check it out. I noticed like right here, it looked like there was a dip wave, but it wasn't. That's just the plastic. because I didn't drip the paint. I was really good with the paint. And it looks like, yeah, it's just, it's in the plastic. So it was making me nuts. It's like, I know I didn't sag the paint, but it looks pretty good. And like I said, in this corner, like in here, yeah, like right there, it looks a little clear. Once I put the mask, once I put the decals on, I'll see what it looks like. If I have to blow some paint in there, I will. But I think I'll be fine. Cool. Hey guys, it's Chris, and I'm back. Another part of my Top Force body painting segment here. This is the original wing. I showed, I think before, I fixed some of the transparent spots on it. In it, this paint is kind of see-through, but there's gonna be decals on it. It looks good. The plastic itself is very wavy. I thought it was, at first I thought it was running the paint, but it's also on that body too. Just how it is. There's nothing I could do. It's just, yeah, it's just the way the original plastic adhered to the paint. But I mean, it still looks great. I mean, it came out nice and smooth. The weather's about 60 degrees, so it's a little cool to be painting this, especially metallic, the PS metallic paint. But anyway, showing the inside of the body shell. It looks pretty good. Dried for a little while. I had to put paper on the outside, so I'm hoping this looks good. And like, you know how you do the reveal when you take off the uh, the plastic outer coating? Well, this is going to be the reveal. And I gotta say, it's pretty smooth. This is the plastic. This is not paint. You see those little ripples and stuff? That's from the mold. I've never seen that before. I've dripped paint plenty of times, so I would admit it. If I dripped the paint, I'd say, look, I screwed up. This is not me. This is in the actual mold. I put on very light coats. And I gotta say, I didn't even get overspray on this body. I'm shocked. I really thought I might have got a very, very slight here and there, but I'll go over with some polycarbonate cleaner. But it is done. It's clean. It's a almost a 40-year-old piece of plastic. Come on, I think it's pretty good. Now it looks like I might have dripped here. You see it. It looks like I might have dripped right there, but a little polycarbonate cleaner could fix that. But the sides look good, so that's cool. So the windows look good. The trick now is not to pick off any of the good paint. Light. You can see it. I don't know. I missed the masking tape in those two little corners. But if I use some polycarbonate cleaner and my favorite, here are we? Come over here. My favorite Q-tips, which I need to buy more of. Tamiya Q-tips. This body will be perfect. So I'm going to leave this like that. I'm sorry about the noise. And yeah, I'll clean it up. And when I'm ready to do the decals, I'll record a new segment. This car was an unfinished project. If you don't already know from maybe previous Smash videos ahead of this segment, this was a Buyee purchase that was not 100% complete. Took a chance on it, missing lots of components. Not lots, but enough to stop the build, but enough to make it like 98% original. So we're at the point now where previous video footage, I took the body, washed it, soapy water, cleaned it, and I sprayed it with PS17, I believe it is. And it's funny that I'm bringing this up. I'm looking at the body, and I painted. This is a Riri body, a Tamiya Riri 2017 body, and this is the original thin body that someone else cut out. I just went over it and sanded it and smoothed it out and made it, a little bit more precise. Same as that color, and I've used Tamiya paints before, like if I ran out of a tin of paint or a can of paint and I had to continue. They're usually very consistent with the metallics or the color variation. I don't know what it is, but this paint job has so much more metallic than this one, and it's not the same can of paint, but it is the same PS17. I'm shocked because I mean I love this one. This one this one really came out good. Is a is a again, if you guys watch some of my videos, you know I'm a little bots. I'm all nuts in the head. When I was cutting this one out because this one is thicker, up front here I made a little scratch with the knife. I mean it's so minute. I mean tiny, but it annoys me. You can't see it. It is in front of the shock tower. You'll never see it ever unless you take the body off and you start looking at it. And if you look at anything on the car, excuse me, on any car, any project, house, whatever you're building, there's always something not 100%. So that this body drove me crazy because of that little nick. I know, crazy, but I know it's there. But this isn't the body for this car. I just put it on temporarily, as I was explaining in previous footage. Um, I had this body already completed from another project, so I just put it on the car temporarily until I was able to get to this project. And it's taken me about a year to get to this point. I mean, that's it's projects move very slow here, and they shouldn't. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you this real quick. These are original decals. These are the original decals that came with this kit. They're a little yellow in the back. You see the tape? They're a little yellow. I hope they stick. I really hope they stick because these are MCI decals, and you can see they are pretty damn close, color wise and everything. These are MCI does, I gotta give MCI, I gotta give Nathaniel credit. MCI does, he does some pretty good stuff. I mean, again, nothing's perfect. They're not original Tamiya decals, but they help you restore a car that, if you couldn't get the decals for, or if you want to do something custom, which I love to do, they're available. So, with that being said, um, I'm hoping they stick because I really want this to go with that because that's all part of the kit. And yeah, and this will actually complete this car. And then this car will be 100% done. Other than I have to remove the dust. And it's inside a closet. And this car's still getting dusty.